Hi. So it's Ciaran here. And I've had this idea running through my head for a number of years. I've been to many properties and met a huge amount of people in my life. At one stage, I used to do bathroom adaptations. So Derby City Council would turn around to me and they'd say, Ciaran, can you go to this address with your company, obviously, and rip out this, can I say disabled? Yes, I suppose I can say, take out this less mobile person's bathroom and then refit one with a walk-in shower and proper doors so that, you know, wheelchair and carer accessibility, and it was all done within a budget of Derby City Council. And I always felt that I was helping people do that, and that made me feel good. So it was bonus on top of being paid. The actual bonus for me was that I was really changing people's lives, and that was a huge thing for me. And I find after many years, that contract collapsed because bad investments by the council, and we all lost our jobs and we all went different ways, and I went into oil and gas, which is another huge story, but after a number of years in oil and gas, I came out of oil and gas and I started doing private bathrooms again. And I'm finding that yes, I do many places for people who have money, and that's, you know, fine and good and great, and I get a great kick out of putting in this beautiful porcelain stuff and, you know, creating these bathrooms, and it kind of jumps in on my creative side, so it helps me evolve as a human being. But then I get these call outs every now and then, and it's for a wash hand basin or something like that. And last year I did this call out, and it was to a woman who lived by herself with her dog, and she was a carer. And I believe she'd been a carer all her life. And I walked into this house and it was in serious need of renovation. And her problem at that stage was basically that her waste pipework wouldn't run. In fact, no, it wasn't. It was that her taps had got to the point where they were so old that they'd broken, and they were constantly dripping, and the sink was filling up because it was so cold in that bathroom that the pipes were freezing on the inside of the wall. And so I obviously turned off the water and cut the pipes and capped them to stop that happening, and ordered a new sink and put a new sink in. And I said to her, would she like a new bathroom? She said, oh, I'd love a new bathroom, but I don't know if I can afford it. And I said, okay, well, I'll give you a quote anyway. And I sent her the quote, and I never heard from her again. And here I am, you know, something like 8 months later, and I'm sitting here still thinking about this woman, and knowing that she can't afford to do her bathroom. And I keep meeting people like this, and I keep wondering how I could help them. Now I can't I can't afford to go out and renovate people's bathrooms, but I'm kind of thinking that maybe if other people on the internet, on YouTube, helped me to set up crowdfunding or something like that for these type of people, that maybe I could. And that would be, you know, an incredible thing to be able to do. Maybe once a month, walk into somebody's place and say, look, I know that you're in real need of this partial renovation doing. With the help of the internet and my skill set, I'm going to do that for you. Or we as a collective are going to do that for you. So my little message today is more about sharing this video so that the people who can help me set up crowdfunding or something similar to do a project like this can get in contact with me and help me achieve that goal. And I'm not looking to do this you know, full-time. I still obviously want to go out and earn my own way in life and money and everything else, but I would like to start while I still have the strength and ability and knowledge. I would like to give something back, and it strikes me that a person of my talents would find that relatively easy as long as there was some backing in place. You know, maybe there's tool companies out there, or there are people who would wish to sponsor that, and you know, it could become a huge thing. Maybe something that loads of tradesmen could do, you know. So that's my thought of the day, and I'd really like to hear from anybody who could possibly help me achieve that goal, because I'm seeing, and I'm not talking homeless people, I'm talking people who have worked so hard in the lowest paying jobs and paid their taxes and paid their, you know, bills, but they're on such frugal amounts of money that they cannot you know, go out and do a part renovation of their house. And yet these people are probably the people who are you know, looking after your parents in a care home, or on a till somewhere, maybe, you know, in a low paying job, but who are absolutely 100% putting all their effort into life, and yet nothing, and cannot even have, you know, the kind of home comforts that most of us are accustomed to. So anyway, if you could share this message, I'd really appreciate it. And I would love to hear your comments, your thoughts, and whatever else that you may have. Maybe you think this is a good idea, maybe it's been done before. I mean, I just feel that I can reach so many people with this, and I could actually change lives in a fundamental way of how somebody gets up in the morning and views their life, puts them into maybe a different perspective of positivity instead of that drudge, and you know, when you can't actually seem to be able to get out of or off a path, and there doesn't seem to be any forks, or there's no light at the end of the tunnel, and it's a daily grind because there's just this greyness surrounding you. That's pretty much what I'd like to help people shed a bit of light on. And I know I've only done 70 videos or so, rather 50. Yeah, I'm jumping ahead of myself there. But all this time that I'm thinking of these things, I'm kind of going, yeah, I could be doing so much more. With a little more financial help, I could be really doing so much more. So that's the daily vlog. I believe that's my first one. I hope there's going to be many more. And thank you for listening. Have a great one.